I'm Em Sheldon, a fashion and beauty blogger at mtalks.co.uk. Lil-lets have invited me to talk to you about how I felt growing up. And you can find out more at becomingateen.co.uk. When I first started my period, I think I was in about year 8, and I remember thinking, I kind of started around the same time as my friends. Some people started really early, some people started late. I was kind of bang in the middle. I wasn't too concerned. It was kind of something that I knew was going to happen. You're going to get to period. There's nothing you can do about it. Just kind of face it. It's not a bad thing anyway. It's a good thing. And I remember my mum was out for dinner and we had a babysitter and it was a family friend, and typically I went to the toilet that night and I started my period. I was so upset, and I wasn't upset because I was scared or worried. I was upset because my mum wasn't there, and it was just that one night that I just wanted to go and cuddle my mum and be like, oh my gosh. I was kind of more overwhelmed. I literally didn't know what to do. So I just kind of cried and then went and sat with my babysitter and didn't say anything. So my mum came home and I literally jumped on her and hugged her, and I just burst out crying. I was just so overwhelmed, and my mum just said to me, I'm so proud of you, because this is like a big step to becoming a woman, I guess. And I'd kind of done it by myself when my mum was out, but I did it and I got through it, and everyone can get through it because it's just a part of growing up, which is actually amazing. One of my best friends actually only lives with her dad, and she started her period and she was in floods of tears. She'd never spoken to anyone about it before. She just didn't know what to do, but she knew that I'd started my period. So she came round to my house and I kind of gave her some tampons and showed her what to do. I was like, this is kind of what you do. And then I locked her in the bathroom and I just said, you're just going to have to learn. I was like, I'll be at the other side of the door and I will help you. Talk to me, cry to me, shout to me, and I'll help you. And we sat kind of either side of this locked bathroom door. She was crying, I was crying, but she did it. And then we celebrated with some chicken nuggets. When I was younger, I always kind of wore pads because I was like, oh, tampons, scary. And then we went on a family holiday, my period came. It always happens, typical. And my mum said, look, we're going to have to move you off pads and move you onto tampons. And I was like, no way, I'm scared. I'm anxious. This is too mature for me. And my mum said, no, you're going to do it. You're going to learn. They are so much easier. And my mum filled me with this confidence, and she was right. So much easier, so much more reliable. Absolutely fine. I had nothing to worry about. It's made my life so much easier and better. So I went on holiday, had the time of my life, because my mum said to me, don't ever let your period stop you doing anything. You can swim. Of course you can swim. You can do anything. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to wear a bikini. I wore a bikini. I swam. I did everything as I would normally. And nowadays, I just wouldn't ever even think about, oh, I'm on my period, so I can't do something. It really doesn't matter at all. So my advice for girls who kind of are wanting to do, go to a sleepover with your friends and your period's there, well, firstly, just talk to your friends. They're not going to judge you. If they're real friends, they're probably going to want to talk about it too. They're probably going through the same thing as you. And even if they're not, they've probably already been through it, or they're going to go through it soon. Take an extra long pad with you. Put it on just before you go to bed so that you're going to feel comfortable, clean, and you're not going to leak. Other things that you could do, for example, if you didn't want to put the pad in your friend's bin, you could always put it in your sleepover bag. Just take a little plastic bag with you to put it in, for example, and then you don't have to, it can be discreet, you don't have to feel nervous about leaving it in someone's bin, for example. When I first kind of started my period in the first year, I would kind of think, oh, I have got a few hormonal spots, I'm actually a lot moodier, I'm eating more, kind of little things like that. I'd be like, maybe people can tell that I am on my period. I was always quite worried doing sports and PE, for example, jumping up and down, doing netball when I was on my period, because I was like, people might be able to tell, people might be able to see my pad or the string from the tampon. Maybe kind of I feel a little bit heavy. Can other people see this? Do I look bigger? That kind of thing. And no one can see. It's definitely like a frame of mind. But yeah, it did worry me, and I did kind of feel a bit self-conscious, particularly because at school I did wear kind of either skirts or really tight trousers. I wouldn't wear a skirt for the whole week I was on my period. So I used to think, well, I always wear a skirt. People can obviously tell that I'm on my period. And on weekends, I wouldn't wear white jeans, I wouldn't wear anything light coloured, made sure I wore dark things, just because I was scared that I'd leak. But you're not going to, it's definitely just kind of a, you think you're going to do, and it kind of makes you feel unconfident. My main piece of advice is use the right products for you. So it kind of depends. So on the first day of your period, for example, you may need to use something with a higher absorbency. And on the last day, you may need to use something a lot lighter, maybe a pad or something with a lighter absorbency. Don't worry, you're kind of going to learn that stuff, and there are people who can help you. My main tips, if you are suffering from period pains, I always get a hot water bottle, watch some nice TV or films, have some nice chocolate. I know it sounds, I try to like home comfort things. They always make me feel better. Drink lots of water, keep myself hydrated, and just try to laugh, just try to get through it. Like, it's gonna happen, it's gonna be fine.